Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and we have some grievous news today. President Kia was killed during the Illuminate siege. That being said, it opens up the door for new presidential candidates. Will it be a Ford v Ferrari? Maybe it will be Toyota. We'll just have to wait and see, but we actually don't have to wait that long because we have some inside information on what's coming next and new objectives tied to it. But without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because that Ford v Ferrari joke cost me a ton of money to get the copyright license to. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So yesterday was absolute chaos in Helldivers. We got some good news. Fort Union was actually a success in the major order. The satellites have now been transmitting civilian-created malware to the Illuminate fleet, resulting in the destruction of multiple large spacecraft. The Illuminated fleet has suffered 5% damage as a result. However, unfortunately, while that was going on, President Kia of Super Earth has been killed in action by the Illuminate during the fall of Prosperity City. The president died heroically defending the presidential security bunker with only a pistol against waves of Illuminate foes. Presidential authority has been placed in the Ministry of Defense, and this is finally going to kick off those presidential elections we've talked about so much on this channel before. So we're going to dive into all three candidates, some potential side objectives and mission types along with it, and everything you guys need to know. Some of you have probably already seen this before, you are aware, but for those that aren't aware, this is everything you'll need to know. So let's go ahead and start diving into it. We've already talked about on this channel, there is a president's mansion right here that is going to be in the game that we have to defend on Super Earth. We know this because actually Iron Sights did let us know that there is going to be a protect the president objective coming in the game, meaning that we are going to have to protect the president. But it gets even more interesting because it looks like the president is actually going to be someone we select. Iron Sights showed us a bunch of presidential stratagems that are granted upon electing a president. There's medical supplies, SOS, resupply, Patriot exosuit, orbital airburst, orbital Gatling, and Eagle airstrike. They have lower cooldowns, which seems like it's going to be tied into this objective. How we're actually going to go ahead and vote for a president with the game is going to be one of the more interesting things. Maybe we all go ahead and do a poll on our fleet ships, or maybe they give us a major order where two different candidates go ahead and give us two different major orders, and whichever one we complete is the one that we decide wants to be our president. Those would, in my opinion, be the most fun ways to do it. And then once we elect them, we're gonna, have to go ahead and defend them for the president's mansion objective and making sure that it does not get taken over. There's also some other things tied to this president. There's a briefcase objective icon, which clearly looks like a nuke case, or at least in my opinion, it looks like something you would store something very strong and valuable in, and it's likely tied to the president's football objective. I don't have any more information on that other than that is what Iron Sights called it. It looks like we have some good news about what kind of leaders we're going to be electing. Cast your votes, do your duty, vote for your leader of choice, and there are three distinct options that we know of so far. And if you guys want to see some of the data mine videos in their complete and full form, I'll go ahead and play them right here. Keep in mind there are some spoilers, especially when it comes to the automatons and what we're going to do to them eventually. But without further ado, I'll play that clip, and so we get a better idea of what we're going to be voting for. Now, along with everything that we just talked about with the mega cities, I did want to talk about, well, since we are being invaded on Super Earth, there seems to be an election being set up very soon. In fact, Iron Sights on his Discord said, just wanted to look for some new presidential leaks, small changes, nothing too big. However, he did say something about a voting terminal being set up. It was asked, so I'm assuming voting for presidents runs on the same type as UI as weapon stats. And he said, yeah, LOL, similar UI. Like this little voting terminal that gets set up. And, well, there will be a terminal on our ships, apparently. Hopefully this is when we get the new tier 6 progression, but regardless of that, we will have a voting station for a Super Earth president, which is likely going to be a major story point after the Super Earth invasion, after we either win or lose it. But there are actually 3 candidates in the files, and we're going to go over what each candidate can do, how they are going to function in the game, and what Iron Sights has let us know about them. Such as, this is going to be one of the presidential candidates right here, Winston Richmond Jr. Sr., which is just confusing. But regardless, he gave us some background information, such as as this gentleman will be a part of the Justice Party, Ulterior Corporation, and focuses on medical policies, which I did not actually expect. There will also be slogans for each candidate, such as Tier 1 for this gentleman is going to be justice for all cannot exist without the all. Tier 2 is by focusing on medical advancement, you can get more you out of you, and Tier 3, Super Earth can defeat any foe so long as its citizens are dedicated to the cause. Your vote, our protection. I kind of wonder if this will be part of the clan stratagem that actually brings down the med packs if we elect this guy. I think maybe each candidate brings in its own firepower depending on who we elect. Now, going on, there is going to be this lady right here, known as Gun Ingbrit Morgensdorter. I assume that's German. I probably absolutely butchered that. Anyways, they are part of the Freedom Party. The Stroman Corporation is who they belong to, and they focuses on the right to bear arms, which, you know, kind of is given away by the giant image of the weapon she's holding. Her slogans are, as long as the alien menace thrives, we can never truly be free. Tier 2 is a gun in every hand means a soldier in every home, and Tier 3, there exists nothing in this galaxy more powerful than a well-armed citizen of Super Earth. So I imagine she is going to be bringing some weaponry if we elect her. The third and final candidate is this lady right here holding a baby with the Helldivers onesie or binky, and she is known as Dayu Hatchet. She is part of the Prosperity Party, the Permacure Corporation, and focuses on the expanse and wealth of Super Earth. Their slogans are Tier 1, when we expand, we earn. When we earn, we expand. And Tier 2, in knowledge lies power, in power lies prosperity, and prosperity lies freedom, which I'm pretty sure that's like maybe part of the Sith code. I feel like that's directly taken from the Sith code and played with. Regardless, Tier 3 is also prosperity means better weapons. I would also be interested if this is when the Super Earth Hellbot comes in. There's audio, it's going to be an NPC character, but it would make a lot of sense because it's described as the Super Earth Hellbot, is it's a companion we get for this objective that we call in. I'll go ahead and play the Super Earth Hellbot audio right here so you guys can get an idea of what it's going to be like. We've played it on this channel many times, but if you're new, you can go ahead and enjoy this. If you've seen it before, don't worry about it.
Number 419. Illuminate outposts are often heavily shielded and are best overcome with weapons boasting extreme destructive power. Tip number 394. During night missions, Helldivers are automatically granted access to the flare stratagem at no extra cost. Hooray! Beep boop. Tip number 836. Lying prone provides minimal protection against nearby explosions. Tip number 194. The longer a mission takes, the more aware of your presence the enemy will become. Non-murderous butler. The election is approaching. Please be prepared to participate. Sales are the lifeblood of democracy. And also final. Tip number 119. Locate and successfully extract with Intel, and you will reveal an Intel mission. Hooray! Purchase complete. Please note, some samples are rarer than others.
Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts? Which presidential candidate are you most excited for? And also, don't forget to check out this video right here where I cover more Helldivers news on the daily. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Keep spreading managed democracy.